NHGOP TV.
HD camera upstairs, and so.
Okay.
Today, and we can start kind of explaining how it's going to work for everyone. So what we're about to do is we're going to start county by county processing the votes that were cast early with the county and city chairs. This is our team of counters who will be overseeing it. We will open up each county and city box one by one. We will also be opening up the state party early vote box and pulling out the list of people who voted early at the state party headquarters. That way, if somebody had voted once with their county chair, but also voted with the party, that's why we had the date and time stamp on the envelopes that everybody signed. If there is somebody who, they have an envelope from a county box, but they also have their name checked off the list of the state party box, there are two envelopes. We'll find the envelope in the state party box that they had submitted, and we'll compare the date and time signature on those envelopes. The most recent one will be the one that is accepted and processed in, and the one that is older will not be unsealed tonight. As we go through the processing and the voters that voted early are checked off the list, and we make sure they didn't vote elsewhere. Their ballot, their envelope will be opened up by one of the counters here, and the envelope, the ballot will be pulled out that was folded into the gummed envelope and placed into that centralized ballot box. I will do this county by county until we have all of them, and then we'll finish with the state party early votes until we have all of the votes cast into that box. Then we will open up that box, and the counters will segregate the ballots into ballots in the chairman's race between the two candidates, and then count them, and then we'll move on to the vice chair's race. So that's the process that we're going to start right now. It is 6:02 p.m. Yes?
Joe, in your email this week, you made a comparison to how we count votes in town and city elections, and that's a very interesting comparison.
Yep.
I actually agree with that. In towns and cities, we count by each of those precincts.
Yep.
Each of these boxes is like a precinct. I would like to ask that you count each of those boxes separately so that we know how the precinct voted in those votes that were cast.
So I would say in this election, there's one precinct, and that's here right now.
Well, I want to point out that there's multiple different locations to vote.
Correct. Early voting.
Each location typically does have the votes counted.
But we're not counting them at the separate locations.
Yes. So we've always voted at one annual meeting.
We were at one location for the
And at Eli, thank you for being here, but you are not, at 4 o'clock today, I asked all 4 campaigns to designate one observer per their campaign. This is a practice that we've done in the past. Mr. Hines sent me a wonderful email that made no sense to what we've done in the past, which is fine. I have 4 people here. We have documenting cameras. We got a priest here, okay? End of the day, it's gonna be 4 people counting the votes, 1 observer from each campaign in this room. So at this time, could I please have the designated observers for each campaign selected by the candidate to please? What
We
campaign, sir?
object to this. There is no basis for this.
I don't know
You're gonna let
who
me
you are,
finish.
and I don't
You are
care
gonna
who
let
you
me
are.
finish. There is no basis for this in the bylaws. It does not change your vote if you have 30 sets of eyes here. We are not leaving. We are going to watch you count. There will be one designated official from each campaign sitting at the table to verify that the name on the ballot is what you say it is. The rest of us are not leaving.
Sir, I don't know who you are, nor who you speak for, but
I'm a Republican.
That is
I'm the treasurer of
fantastic.
Belknap County, and we are not leaving this room.
fantastic, congratulations on being the treasurer of Belknap County.
Don't
Your
patronize me.
your chair
Don't
should be the one
patronize.
saying anything on your behalf. At this time, I'd ask those who are not designated by a specific candidate to please leave the room.
We are not.
I'm the chair of Belknap County. and
Norm, what can you say about this gentleman representing you?
I agree with what he said, and I don't think we should be required to leave.
Okay, so
As the
that
chair
being
of
said,
Ross County, I agree.
fantastic,
Chair
Eli.
of Grafton County, I agree.
Okay,
As the vice chair of Carroll County, I agree.
okay.
As the treasurer of Merrimack County,
And
Edward.
Andrew, I also noticed that it was no surprise that you sent that email out just 22 hours before we started the count tonight. That was done deliberately so that we would have as little time as possible to object to this. We all object. There is no precedent for this. There is no reason why we can't be watching. What are you trying to hide by limiting the number of people watching the count?
Andrew, I think we allow all to observe the count, but only those designated by the candidate, only that one individual designated by the candidate are the ones that can challenge any of the counting.
That's fair.
Does that work with that? We have the cameras here.
That's
And
fine.
before we get started, can I ask Peter to maybe open up with a prayer?
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be great, I think.
Sure. That'd be fine. Our Heavenly Father, we sure do love you tonight. Lord, we thank you for this wonderful country that you have graciously allowed us to be able to live in. And Lord, in part of that, we get to be in the state of New Hampshire. Lord, I thank you for the process that you allow us to be able to have. Lord, I pray throughout this evening, Lord, that I know there may be different sides. There always is an election. That's what it's about. Lord, I pray that we'd remember we are Granite Staters. And Lord, I pray that we would be civil towards each other. And Lord, I pray that at the end of the day we'd realize that, Lord, we're in this for the citizens of New Hampshire. And Lord, to fulfill the obligation that you've given to government officials as ministers of God in the government. And so, Lord, I pray that you'd be with this process. Lord, may there be calmness of heart. And Lord, may the will of the people be done. And we thank you for this. Thank you for the process that you've given to us. Now, Lord, may we go through the evening. And Lord, may everything be done to your honor and glory and to represent the citizens of New Hampshire, the greatest state that we're able to live in. May we keep that at the forefront of our hearts. Thank you for tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so who are the,
One of the things too, we are here to elect the chair and the vice chair of the Republican Party of the state of New Hampshire. How dare we proceed without a pledge of allegiance?
Right.
We don't have a flag, but I know Matt Bajelabrick has got a flag on his hat. As far as I'm concerned, that's good enough for me right now. That's a symbol of the country that we are all in a fight for. Let's show respect for that Star-Spangled Banner.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
alright, 2 observers. Who are the observers from the designated from the campaigns?
I'm going to have David Strang
Okay,
representing.
so David, grab a chair, right here. And who, Dan, who did you have?
Still your position that I cannot observe.
It's still my position. I mean, the way we've done it the past, I don't know.
Chair goes
Yeah,
over here.
Dan, this is the way we've done it. I've been solicited on
Trying to
for the
observe
past
6 feet.
6
I have to be
meetings.
close enough to see
You
which
will.
section is checked off. You will.
Who's counting the votes?
We're doing it as a process.
He asked who? He wants the names.
So Elliot's a counter, Jimmy Mack from Derry's a counter, Scott Maltese, Merrimack County is a counter, and I am a counter.
Okay.
So, Chris, grab a chair, right there. Well, you're gonna sit there. Oh, yeah. I'm assuming you still wouldn't want to sit. Yeah.
So,
Can we ask people if they're gonna be within 6 feet of one mask?
Yes, everyone
Do
wear
you
a
mind wearing a
mask,
mask? Thank you.
please. If I didn't have a 7-month-old child at home, I'd, do it all for safety. For the record,
And I'm
these
old.
keys to all these lock boxes have been in my possession in my home personal safe for the past 2 weeks.
Thank you.
No county chair nor county official has said anything about tampering with, disabling, or adjusting any of these ballot boxes. No complaints have been brought forth to the state committee in any way, shape, or form.
on the
Yep.
party keys and then the bell.
Yes, it's a camera. Fine with me.
That's your good side.
That's, yeah, I know. I should probably be sitting over there for the better side. but
I
that's-
know.
Now I gotta figure out which side's the better side.
Can we get a final count of how many have crossed off here before we get started, just so we can verify who's voted?
Can you just stand back 1 step and I'll do it out loud? 1,
So these
2,
are ballots cast
3,
today.
4,
The box. Just in a regular election,
5,
we would just put it right
6,
in the ballot
7,
box instead
8,
of having the early vote,
9,
the seal.
10, 11,
So yeah, we have
12,
observers present all day, and they saw the box empty.
13, 14, 15,
That's what they're
16,
going over right there right
17,
now.
We have them
18,
crossed off that.
So we're cross-referencing
19,
that
20,
list, so anybody
21,
that came in
22.
today, maybe out of the blue,
23, 24,
each box to make sure no one came in,
25,
Nobody
but then
votes twice.
voted earlier this week.
26, 27,
Cross-reference
28,
them before the counting starts.
29,
Those are the
Correct.
latest ballots.
says voted in Concord.
You wanna open these boxes?
30, 41, 32,
Well, I just need to get the list from this one. so-
33, 34, 35,
I will get.
36, 37, 38, 39, 40,
You're gonna need to
41,
stand back.
42,
You're
43,
gonna need to stand back, there's only 2 observers, please.
44.
If you wouldn't mind following.
Oh,
the-
you know what, 'cause
following the
this
rules.
was-
That was-
One candidate
Jose,
in Concord
you
is
gotta
actually,
stand back.
What's your
it should be
all day
44
Jose?
voted.
Yep.
You gotta
Yep.
stand back,
You were asked?
you have to stand back.
Stand back 6 feet. Perfect.
Alright,
44, right?
Yep, it matches.
Okay.
yeah, we'll announce everything.
So that's in here. Don't get
Yep.
hostile. No need to get hostile, gentlemen. I've been here all day and everybody was very gracious and very nice.
This is the
No,
Chinese.
none
Yeah.
of those are in
Start now.
envelopes, because they were voting here, so those are the last cast
This is
ballots
the
for
last
those
one,
names.
right, these are the ones.
So if
Anybody here voted here, they come off.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Then those envelopes get tossed.
Hey, can you pass me actually one of those pens, because it's a thicker marker?
Pastor invited you all to grab a chair and sit down.
I wiped them all down,
If you'd
so
like
I
to
know
sit
you're wearing
down,
gloves, but.
please grab
Thank
a
you.
seat.
Yep.
Alright, so if we could just open that, just so that I can get the list of the votable parties. And if I hear a name that's on this list of initial off, I'm gonna pause everything so we can go forward.
Okay, so
But
is-
now, we're gonna go county by county, so we're not pulling ballots from this one. I'll go back up, we're gonna do Belknap first and we'll do alphabetically.
Alright, so you're gonna read the name?
So,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah, yeah,
Scott will be the one that goes through the ballots and.
Those are,
Alphabetic.
okay.
Belknap.
So they're not by county. it's
They're not by
alphabetical.
county,
Okay.
so you're gonna have to slow down when
Yeah,
you're opening,
yeah.
just because I have to look through everybody alphabetically.
Don't cut yourself, I'm not on duty.
Hopefully there's a first aid kit nearby.
Belknap has been unlocked. That's the list from Belknap. that's
List.
submitted.
Okay, list from Belknap, initialed, members,
So, for the 2 observers,
I-
all initial.
Ballot taken, and, okay, good.
Alright, now I read it?
so
Andrew's gonna
I'm
read
gonna,
that.
I'm gonna
So
read.
that list, we don't have to read that.
We don't read this
Andrew
one.
has
No,
the
Alright.
I've got the envelope, so I'm gonna
Okay.
read the envelope of the person that has submitted a ballot.
And I'll make sure it was, so somebody here didn't
No, I-
initial.
So I'm here to make sure
Okay.
that, so it doesn't,
Barbara
So the-
Comus,
But this
Com-
person
Comswa.
didn't.
Comshaw.
they didn't vote with them.
Okay, just wanna make sure.
Yep,
Okay.
So I would give Jimmy Mack the ballot and then he can open it up and place the.
Do we have a
ballot.
bigger
I-
box? I need the
We
big.
have-
it's gonna go in there. Do you
It'll go
need
right
the
in
letter
here.
opener?
So just open up the envelope.
Okay.
And then you'll cast the ballot into this.
Alright, and we've already counted all these and.
No.
No,
No,
these are
we
the people
haven't
that
done
voted
that.
today.
Those are just people who voted today.
Alright, so
We're
we're not
just
worried,
igno-
we're not worried about mixing them up.
No, we're just acknowledging who has put in. Elliot, are you good for me to read the next one?
Yep, yep, so they're gummed, so, yeah, alright.
Peter Varney,
Peter Varney?
yep.
Yep.
And then just stick it right in.
Do you wanna alternate near the garbage can, throw those things in?
I actually will, thank
got-
you very
we got-
much.
Actually, I would suggest you keep the outer envelope,
Yeah.
just in case
No, I got
there's a
it, we're all
change.
set.
Yeah.
Those
Yep.
are blank, so.
Yeah, no problem,
Okay.
thank you,
Peter Varney's envelope.
Peter Barney.
Okay. Next on the checklist, Beth Varney.
You did.
Next on the checklist, Mike Silva. SYL.
Yep. So we are. Yep.
May I suggest that we alternate who opens the envelope so we can.
Observers, you see the other envelopes going over?
Yeah.
I know.
They don't open easy.
Doesn't break boxes.
Next on the checklist, John Johnson.
Don Johnson.
Yep. Varney in. Okay. Glenn Aldrich.
Glenn Aldrich.
Greg Yu.
Huff.
Huff.
H-O-U-G-H.
And ballot.
Mr. Norm Silver.
Norm Silver.
Priscilla Terry.
Priscilla Terry.
And ballot.
I don't know, this one doesn't look a fit. Mr. Dave Strange, confirmed.
Set.
Yeah, I might miss that word.
What?
I'm gonna make a second pile.
Oh, tin snips, those will work. Tin shears.
Take your hand out of the ballot. One ballot?
Paul
What?
Terry.
No, that's fine.
Paul Terry.
Joe, can I suggest that when we're done with each county, you put the outer envelopes back in the box just in case there's
Yeah.
any further challenge?
Absolutely. I'm fine with that.
Ray Harvard Jr.
Howard.
And I was a substitute teacher for a while, too, though.
Ray Howard. His wife's probably gonna be right with him next, so.
Didn't sound like
Jim Thompson.
One ballot?
Jim Thompson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Priscilla Bean.
Priscilla Bean. Yep.
Harry Bean.
Harry.
Barbara Howard.
Someone really wants to get a hold of you.
Chris's wife loves him.
The granddaughter.
Chris's granddaughter loves granddaughter.
Barbara Howard.
Outer envelopes.
Well done with that one?
Thank you.
Outer envelope going back in.
Checklist.
Original checklist back in. Box that got destroyed.
Here is Carroll County, and I will.
We won't be able to use it next year. Hopefully we don't have to do this again.
See if we can better with that.
That was sarcastic.
I want to preface before we get into Carroll County, we did have, and I'm actually going to invite the Vice Chair, Wendy Richardson. When she delivered the box, she did inform me of an individual who was not able to vote in person. They voted from Florida. That is not allowed under the rules of the election, so when we get to that individual envelope, that will not be processed. And for the people in the room and for the record, the name that we're looking for is Bill Denley, correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Bill Denley, that envelope will not be opened up, it will be put to the side as a non-valid ballot. So, thank you again for alerting to us that we can ensure integrity in the election.
Jeff is.
Andrew, just out of curiosity, do all these boxes open with the same key, or are they
No,
separately keyed?
Each box has its own labeled key.
Good. Good to know, thank you.
These are fantastic little masks. Not sure what we'll ever use them for now, but.
Do you mind if you stay here if you put a mask on?
Sure, do you have one?
Yep, there's masks right over at the front table.
I'll chew them off as soon as two locks.
The list is not in here, Joe? Or is it?
So they do not have the list provided, which is fine, because we have our master checklist and I have the checklist of those that voted at the party.
Okay.
Every individual signed the ballot, they're on the list.
Beverly Bruce. Good old Beverly.
Beverly Bruce.
Harding. Ronnie Harding.
Would Roni Harding?
Ronnie.
Yes.
R-H-O-N-I.
She'll
Phone
forgive you.
Okay.
Do you mind answering this? They've called me 3 times. Just
And
saying I
that's
can't
Ronnie
take
Harding?
the call right now.
Corky Messer.
Brian.
Glenn Cordelli.
When?
Education Committee, big guy, like sign waves.
Glenn Cordell.
Jeffrey Jordan Reisner. 2 names?
Jeff-
R-E-I,
Jeff
yeah.
Reisner. Community Reisner. R-E-I-S-N-E-R.
There are 2 names there in my.
It looks like it's a hyphenated last name.
Okay. Mike Harding.
Harding, yep.
Matthew Flash.
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 Get the full name. Found out.
One of those gloves, Scott?
Sure.
Grab another glove.
No, Jimmy Mack, one.
That's right.
I have more in my car. You want me to go get you one? I'm happy to go get you one. Joe there. My car's right at the front door. It's a white Sonata. They're in
Can
the,
you throw me my phone?
the middle section. You know that middle foldy thing? Sure. They're in there.
Alright.
Plain
There's a bunch of them.
Nelson.
If you lift up the middle console, there's a time.
And I'll just say, the only early vote I had from Carroll County is Brody Deshay. If that name pops up, he already voted with the party
Yep.
early, so we'll have to compare.
William
Oh, head glove.
Denley. That's
That's the one.
That is
Okay.
the
The
one.
one that we have to
So
discard.
this right here confirming it's William Denley, putting it aside.
Yep.
If you want, I would suggest write void on
Yeah.
there, or, just so that it doesn't get mixed in.
Fair.
We caught it?
Yeah,
Everybody
I
confirms?
Actually, Elliot, I
Bring it over.
don't
We're
want
just gonna leave it right here.
So write
I'm
void
just
on
gonna
it.
write void on it.
Just right void on it.
And then we'll put it back in the box with all the envelopes, so
Yep.
we'll do that.
Wayne Benner.
The Y.
That's a Y. Come on.
Yep.
Terry McCarthy.
Terry McCarthy, yep.
James Pietrangelo.
What's the last name?
Petrangelo.
Peter Angelo, yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Come on, Hosanna.
Just saying. You know, like the hockey player.
Well, no, I'm looking to go. Pietrangelo. Jimmy?
Yeah.
Frank McCarthy. Good, Elliot?
Yep.
Who?
Mark McConaughey.
McConkey?
Hockey.
McConaughey. Karen Umberger.
Karen?
James Umberger. I bet you they wrote at the same time.
Sir?
Richard Sharp.
Ray Shakir, okay.
Oh, that's Ray? I know Ray.
Oh, right
Let's see,
here.
yeah.
It's here. S-H-A-K-R.
Ballot?
James Buff.
Oh, L-E, yep, okay. Lefebvre.
Oh, Lefevre, L-E-V-F-E-R-E.
Should be right there, yeah, there you go.
Trignogrica? Trigenza.
Norman Tregenza.
Oh.
Well, they say George is that's this way. George.
I guess we have nothing to complain about.
Yeah. Last, Linda Teagan.
Yep.
That concludes Carroll County. Outer envelopes being placed back in, along with one ballot that was voided.
Void is in there.
Yep.
Here's the Cheshire County box.
What's that?
Yeah, the key is indication that everybody else has voted that way.
No.
Okay, good. You probably should have done that up front. but-
No, I mean,
Eleven more boxes. You're all goddamn night. Gonna be
6:30?
Gonna be a long night.
You gotta open those faster, man.
Huh?
You gotta open those faster.
I know.
We'll go
Don't cut
fast.
yourself.
We got this split.
I think once we get.
Starting to go faster.
Once we get counting, we'll be fine. The counting will.
Oh, yeah, it'll be
I
quick.
mean, the only way it's gonna go is list by
It'll take 5 minutes, that'll be quick.
Well, yeah.
That'll be quick, the counting.
Yeah.
But you know,
County list is named with phone
Well, you
numbers.
gotta count the same ballots twice, so you gotta
Right,
count
right.
them.
Okay, ready?
Put it back.
Yep.
We'll have to count them again. Right,
Ardo.
because there was one.
Leno?
Leno, L-E-I-N-O. Ardo Leno.
Yep.
Oh, I get that.
Which pen is this, Cheshire?
Cheshire.
Cheshire. Juliana Bergeron.
Oh, that's our stuff. Juliana's.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Malone. Edwin.
Yep.
Edwin Smith.
Give Juliana.
Right here.
Edwin Smith.
Good.
A lot of Smith.
Yeah, we do have a lot of Smiths.
Yeah.
Krasinski.
Krasinski. Sylvester. Sly Korinsky, that's it.
Joseph Cartwright. Good Elliott.
Yep.
And Cartwright.
That's okay.
We'll sweep when we're done.
Jennifer Mush.
Okay.
Daisy.
Good Elliott.
Jennifer, yeah, right
Yep.
there.
electronic cue? Strong?
Yep. Master Cinco.
It is kinda nice that they allowed them to print.
Yeah, we'd be lost if we were going off of signatures.
I'm very comfortable with the printing.
Yeah.
And
I
not, and
need
not
to put
just,
their names, cause the chicken scratch won't let them print it.
no, that was good.
Richard Melvington?
Smart move.
Yep, Nalavenko.
I think the printing was a smart thing.
Jane Johnson?
Here's an easy one, finally.
The good thing I said, Joe, is we ought to have, I voted on that, can you pull out those envelopes, so they have their long little stickers?
Oh, yeah, I'll tell the ED in 100 years during the next 10 minutes.
There you go.
That'll be 10 years, it's every 10 years.
Greg Johnson? Mila Boaz?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Bruce Ward?
Senator Ward.
Bonnie Moore? M-O-O-R-E?
Yep.
Bonnie Ward. Arthur Brigham? Richard Sainsbury?
Yep.
Tom Eaton? Was he just state senator or was he senate president?
He was state senator and senate president.
Ramona Branch?
Yep.
NHGOP secretary, Ms. Jane Lane?
Jane Lane. Jane Lane.
Ann Farrington? F-A-R-R?
Yep.
And then Harold Farrington?
Yep.
Marilyn Houston? Houston? Kate Day? Our Southern connection? It's gonna be Rita Matson. Fred Ward?
Movie actor?
He could be. Meteorologist.
We may wanna do this one, though, 'cause that may be.
Can I just see the printout on that?
Can you do what?
Can I just see the name on there, cause he didn't show it? Rita Matson?
Rita Matson.
Yeah, you got it.
So that's why we have to go through the county ones first, because if there's somebody that voted with their county chair, that I also have marked on my list as voting with the party, then we'll compare the envelopes. But Barring that, so that's why we have to do the state party.
John Carroll? Carroll?
Carry on. Yep.
And last from Cheshire, Williams Beauregard.
Joe,
Yeah.
just on the
That's
chance
the
that
other way,
somebody,
the votes
we haven't
on.
gone
You got
through
that?
the ballots cast at Water Street.
Yep.
What are we gonna do if somebody cast a ballot at Water Street and they've already opened and stripped their ballot from the county?
So I have the list of everyone that initialed when they voted at Water Street,
Okay,
so I have not heard any of the names.
so you're comparing that
So,
as he
yep.
reads it off.
And I can announce going forward who voted early at the party.
Got it.
Each county, I'll do that, so for co-op, I'll announce.
So you have the times that they voted there?
So those times are on the envelope, so when we do get that envelope, then we'll go find the envelope in the state party office.
Got it.
And then compare the two envelopes.
Okay, if we need to find it.
If we need to.
Got it.
I would be shocked if that was the case.
I would be too, but
There's safeguards.
it's nice to have a
We put
fail-safe
many
mechanism.
safeguards in the system.
Don't wanna stab either one of
Oh,
them.
So we're about to open COAS, so I will say, I had two members of COAS vote early at the party, State Representative Dennis Thompson and Richard Sampson.
Okay, so we'll look for
Came down to
those.
10.
Thompson
So
and
those names are
Alright.
there, we'll have to compare those envelopes to flag.
Thompson and Sampson, okay.
Thompson and Sampson.
Okay, co-op,
I know they're all be quick.
Materia,
Now 15, 10,
Attorney,
15.
Attorney,
Yep, Matt.
Matt. Uh-oh, he signed where he should have printed, he printed where he should have signed.
Oh my God, it's invalid.
That's it, that guy, those co-ops people, you're like, geez.
Alright, we'll take it.
They're in their own, they're in their own world out there, I guess. huh?
Trout. Amber
David, you're not gonna challenge that one?
No,
Yeah.
I was kidding when I said, oh my God, it's invalid.
We're not gonna challenge it.
You're good on Strout?
Really?
Yep. Voter intent, right?
Peter July.
Yeah, we don't have to call that a hanging chad.
Are we just opening the ballots right now?
Jared Woodward. Woodward.
Street I grew up on.
Nobody representing Steve and Pam?
Oh, okay.
Spencer Fortier.
Yes, oh, sorry. My apologies.
That is a very interesting signature.
Yeah.
I think it's just initials.
Eli's.
Well, he's here, yeah. That's him, yeah.
Brooks, Norman Brooks.
David's sitting right here if we wanted to ask him, but that looks like his signature.
And then Amy Brooks.
Keeping it easy.
I see James Turney.
James Turney Jr. Who's that? Turney, you got it?
Tierney, yep.
Turney, yep.
Who we looking for, Thompson and who?
No,
Sam.
that wasn't one of them. Thompson and
Thompson and Sampson.
Craig, Kevin Craig.
Representative.
Leo Rido.
Leon, right? Yeah. Or Leo, right? Leo, yeah. Yeah.
Leo. The first page that you fill out completely, you have to yell bingo.
Okay.
Leon.
Here we go.
Leon.
So you have a Leo Rido and we have a Leon
Yep.
Rido.
What are they, cousins or?
Question
No,
should be
dad.
which page gets
The
filled
fa-
out first.
father and
1,
son?
2, 3,
Leo's
4,
the
5,
son,
and 6.
yeah.
Which one's gonna be the first one done? Put a buck in a pool.
King.
That's right, we could bet on
They'll
it.
put a buck in a pool and say, which page is getting filled out first?
Seth.
Good?
Yep.
Troy Smyrna.
Murner? Yep.
Murner.
Representative.
Yep.
There's a ballot that got sliced here.
It got sliced, it got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a tape?
Pastor, do you have tape? Like Scotch tape? Thank you.
Don't move your hand.
I'm not moving my hands, I'm not doing
Don't
a thing.
sneeze.
I can't account for that.
A singular piece of tape, right there.
Makes sense to me.
Folding it over.
Everybody good? Yep.
Please let that letter open.
Yeah. A little aggressive, Scotty.
First the box, then the.
You don't usually give him sharp objects.
Scott's stronger than he
Great
thinks.
night for
I
Scott.
don't know if you noticed, but the ballot box actually punched a hole through it this morning. I had to tape up the side of it.
So over here?
Yeah, I was trying to get the holes into the zip ties and it just went right through it.
Hall.
Hall?
Hall. Kurt Hall. Kurt W. Hall. H-A-L-L.
There's a reason why they sell these things for $2 a piece at the dollar store.
Correct.
And these were free. These are actually from my parents' house when we were cleaning it out. They had office supplies with them. I think Joe threw out the office supplies and we kept the
Put
bins.
them in the box.
Michael
Should've
Smith.
kept the damn office
Smith.
supplies to throw in the boxes. Really?
I'll bet if you took these outside and dropped them on the ground when it's 10 degrees or colder, they would just shatter.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Plummer. Amanda. Sure this is you?
Yep.
No problem. Eli Plummer.
There we go.
Should we make fun of the signature?
Do the signature.
He's a little high on the. Sorry, Eli. You're getting Margaret Evans. E.V.
Senator Evans?
And no.
Is he current senator?
No.
Former.
Jacob Unger. U-N-G-E-R. Unger.
Jack. Yep.
Oh.
It's okay.
Close enough.
Reedstraw. Michael R-I-E-D-S-T-R-A. Reedstraw.
Top of the next page.
Am I saying that right, Eli?
Mitchell.
Okay. Jimmy?
Yep, thank you.
Katie Barth. B-A-R-T-H.
Yep.
As in Katie Barth the door?
Handing off. And last from Pulaski County, Stuart Light. L-I-G-H-T, Light.
If the other people didn't, they only voted to win twice, so that's good.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Jeremy?
They didn't show up.
Everything okay so far?
Putting the list back in, putting envelopes when Jimmy finishes back in. Jimmy? So we did not find the one, so we did not have,
Sampson and
we did not have a duplicate.
Now we're moving on to Concord. And Concord, the early votes were Mr. Chris Wood and Mr. Christopher Elms.
Wood now.
I think I got about 8 people that voted here.
I had 0. Amazing what free drinks will do.
Well, Scott met up at Allen's, and they, yeah, having at a restaurant, why not go for a drink and a vote?
Yeah, I don't know.
Vote and a drink?
19 people show up to vote, probably 23, 24 overall. It was fun.
I did the same thing at a restaurant. Here's where I'm gonna be here.
Which restaurant now? The East Dairy Tavern?
Dairy Tavern.
There it is.
2 different nights. Here we go. Pick your night. Come either one.
East Dairy Tavern.
Come either night. I'm happy.
We actually met in
Peterborough, Ware, and Bedford, and, Nashville.
Oh, wow.
Well, you get a big, yeah.
Andrew Georgievitz. Andrew Georgievitz.
I don't know about that guy.
He's pretty shady. Visconti.
Yep, Mike Visconti.
Glad you could read that.
Luckily, he knows his
Okay, I
own,
have a
luckily,
few
he
others
knows
you're
his
gonna
own
laugh
people.
at. You're gonna, Lawrence
Huh?
Weisbrot.
Concord, yeah.
Weisbrot.
Yep.
You notice that this has had a bite taken out of it, not by me.
A little shark attack.
It's one way to know. Make sure your ballot got counted.
Did you guys see one with a rip? Yeah. Okay. David Newell, Newell.
Holding at the different end, but the vote doesn't count, so.
And Debbie Newell, right?
Yep.
You remember the Newell?
The Newell Post.
Yep, they opened it. They own Summer Breeze.
Great restaurant.
Yeah. The infamous Robert Washburn.
I'm saying, digging these people, they're not ripping the envelopes, this is good, just fold them in, beautiful, just fold them in, baby. Fold those bad boys in, beautiful. You don't have to lick it, fold it in, makes it
Elizabeth
easy to
Tate,
open.
C-A-T-E, Tate.
I'm okay with
Elizabeth Kate.
Who I
Doing the
found
same
out,
thing, gonna fold it.
who I found out today was expecting.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
Her and John?
Yep,
John's next?
Jonathan Tate,
That's exciting. Good for
Yeah.
them.
digging these people.
and he just bought another 100 head of cattle, so he's milking away.
Yeah, I'll never forget when he showed up to that photo shoot we did in that big truck with the hay in it and everything.
It's gonna need enough manure in it.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, one of my fantastic members, Valir
Yep.
Matangu.
Yep.
They at once
Then the
formed
ticket right there.
head of the New American Republic.
Yep.
The first generation American?
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah, Congo.
Nice.
They have a good group. They get together and do a bunch of stuff. They did a barbecue.
I don't know about this one, Patrice Myers.
Oh.
So,
I
wanna know too.
No.
Earlier, and I thought she was here voting, so I crossed her off the list, and I noted that she had already voted.
Yep.
Right
here.
Ah,
So you can just
Okay.
do your marker.
No?
that's this one right here?
Yep.
That's the Shaw's parking lot. Camera shows that.
So she did not, and Dave
Yep.
and Jose saw that she didn't submit a ballot.
Good.
That's this one right
So
Yep.
it's good, it's
Yep.
good.
Okay.
So that was incorrect, voted in Concord?
So when she came in, I thought she was coming with the vote, so I asked for her ID and I crossed her off the list and I was handing her a ballot.
that's right,
and
okay.
she says, I already voted,
Yeah,
and I was
but
like,
we did not count her on the total, and the
Yeah.
totals
No.
matched what we
No.
had, so.
And that was that one extra one that we
Right.
removed.
Yep.
And last from Concord, Kathleen Brandt.
Yeah, that was yours.
Yep.
And again, Chris Woods, Chris Elms, and Tammy should have, good.
so Pam voted to
Georgievitz?
Yep. Yep. Any other outer envelopes? She's going back in, box closing.
Okay, the next box is the dairy committee. No dairy members voted at the party.
And I don't believe any voted here today.
No.
They did not. I mean, you had 10 out
10
of
for
10.
10. 10 out of 10. Everybody voted. 7 Tuesday night, 3 Thursday night. Times and dates are all listed accordingly. As required. Cable ties. Cable ties locked. They had to do 2 keys, but they can only do 1. But not that anybody's got them, but they
Dairy
can
keys.
that. Yeah. You know, what the,
Darren Master List,
massive list,
Master List.
massive list, 10 people.
Tyler Clark.
Can't say master list anymore. Yeah.
Where's Tyler?
Good?
Yep,
Good. Handing off.
Tyler's great.
Representative John Peck. John?
John Patusek.
John Patusek,
Stay rep. Close enough.
state rep.
Danielle Rieger.
Yep.
Good?
Yep.
Good. Pearson?
Steve Pearson.
Steve Pearson, representative.
Representative
Well, you
Steve
wrote
Pearson.
that. I just wanna make sure.
Representative Steve Pearson.
Good? Handing off.
P-E-A-R, right?
P-E-A-R. Yep.
Steve, yep.
Never know how to spell his name.
Erica
Erica Leon,
Leon.
Representative.
Representative Erica Leon.
School board candidate.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Correct.
All set?
David Love, representative.
Representative Love.
All set.
I only knew one other guy with named Love, Bucky Love. He builds gas stations up north. Interesting.
It's a tough name to grow up with, for a guy at least.
Jim Chairman,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Do not hand that
signed
one.
by Jody Nelson.
Jody Nelson, the vice chair, signed.
Vice chair signed.
If you hand, not to me. Don't hand my vote to me.
Good point.
Do not hand my vote to me.
Jody Nelson.
Jody Nelson.
Signed by Sean McCarthy.
What are the odds?
Catherine.
Prudhomme
Catherine
O'Brien.
Prudhomme O'Brien.
KPO, representative.
Representative
A
KPO.
lot of reps there.
Great election law committee.
Karen,
Election law committee, correct.
Karen. Good. Handing off.
Missing one, last one.
And last one.
Dave Mills.
Dave Mills.
Dave
Mills.
Mills. You ever talk to his wife about being flight attendant? She's got some fun, like, my aunt was a United flight attendant, she's got some good flight attendant stories.
You've seen it all, as they say.
And Dave was a pilot, right?
No,
Oh, no.
Dave worked for the airlines.
That's,
Okay, outer envelopes being processed for dairy, back into the original box. Sheets for dairy going back in the box, cover going back on the box.
Last vote, in the box.
Alright, so the next one is Grafton County, here are the keys, and I did have a number of members of Grafton vote early at the office. Mr. Henry Ahern, Mr. Jared Chacoin, Judy Clues, Bill Clues, Cynthia Downing, Barb Dutile, Doug Dutile,
Rockingham and,
Kendall Hughes,
yeah, the small
and Bruce
ones.
Furlow. Those are the ones that voted early at the office, so if we have found one, we'll just need to pause, but obviously.
Rockingham, Hillsborough, Stratford, all the small ones.
Andrew, I assume you locked these ladies.
And then Nashua,
Yes,
of course.
yes, I did, right.
Nashua,
Set up a few
Manchester.
tables, I wouldn't.
That's what's left.
Okay, two locks, please.
So we get Nashua, Manchester,
Locks to
Hillsborough,
grab.
Stratford, Rockingham. There's one more.
I mean, we have Hillsborough on.
Okay.
There's 6 left, and that's 5.
Sure, let's say that.
List for Grafton.
The big ones are coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down.
Warner, Deborah.
Go ahead. sit down, you know.
Dr. Warner.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pull it around.
Good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Gilman, Michael.
If you want, you can
Gilman.
sit over there and I'll show them to you, whatever.
I can see from here. Yeah, I'm good.
Why are you going lower?
No, I'm good. Good.
Good on Gilman?
G-I-L-M-A-N,
I
is
don't
that
mind
his shot?
showing them to you, whatever.
Yeah.
Green, Grisset, yep, sorry. Yep,
Good?
yep.
Okay. Rivers.
Dave Rivers.
Nope, Marlene.
Oh, Marlene.
I was lucky, you got both envelopes.
Yeah, same time, yeah.
Marlene Rivers.
I found there's a sharp side to this thing and a not so sharp side.
Yep, yep.
And next, Dave Rivers. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Beth?
Dave Rivers an EMT, by any chance? Is that the same Dave Rivers?
I have no clue.
Beth Folsom. FOL, FOM, FOL. Good, Elliot?
Yeah.
Flesh shot.
654.
It does say west right there. Yeah, I'm probably
Mhm.
done with this place. Okay.
Yeah.
West Chapman? Bob Guyton?
Senator.
And he spelled his last name right. Sorry.
Always have to look. Really?
If you dictate that like into your phone, it spells it Guida, it's this is not right, but.
Mayo. Nick DeMayo. Is it DeMayo?
DeMayo, yep.
DeMayo?
Nick DeMayo. That's DE. One second. Yep, here we go.
You good?
Yep, sorry. No worries. A lot of DEs.
Heather Subject. Boo, that's like a teacher joke. Okay, come on.
Round up the usual subjects.
And Randy.
Randy.
Subject. Good. Turn me off.
Binford.
David Binford. That.
Representative.
Bradford Bailey.
Brad Bailey. BA. Thank you.
Good?
Yep, sorry.
Paul Shridan. What? Shridan.
SCH.
So it's not.
Yeah,
that's
SCH.
okay, you know, something higher education. Good. I didn't go in there. Stephen Darrow. D-A-R-R.
Yep, he's all set.
Okay. Thomas Toner, T-O-N-E-R.
Two tones.
Good. Jimmy?
Yep, thank you.
Matthew Bajorvik?
Yeah.
Bajorvik, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
and it's
gonna learn it at some point.
BJ, yep.
Gotta say it 3 times fast.
No. Perfect. That concludes putting empty envelopes back in, outer envelopes that is, back in.
Last one.
Yep. List for the county, going back in.
Yes.
What?
Grafton?
Box closed.
Our first whale, Hillsborough County.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't watch that.
No, there's only 45 in
And
there.
look at the size of these lots.
There's only 45 in there.
Somebody please observe, that's not. See, that's just security with Hillsborough, right?
It's not ridiculous. We have like 8 people
And
voting
for
here.
Hillsborough County, I had Representative Ralph Bohm, Mr. Ray Chadwick, Ted Lovell-Landon, Jim Lawrence, John Lewicki, B.J. Perry, and that is it. Those are the ones that voted with me.
Oh, the same days aren't on.
Same days are on.
Ah, gotcha.
We had,
Okay.
yeah, we had a number.
She voted here today,
Okay.
I know that.
Yeah.
And they're already,
Those are just the people that came on.
okay.
I don't remember.
What's the matter?
Yeah, so, just a question,
Yeah, yeah.
because I know Pam voted here today.
Yeah.
How many total votes does Concord have? Because you brought in 14 in the ballot.
Yep.
She voted here today, therefore you should have only had 13 in the box.
No, he only had 11 in the box, but he knew that 14 of his members.
Oh, okay, got it.
And then I turned
So-
two
I
ballots back.
Only 11, only
Yeah.
11 came in.
11 voted with
Perfect.
him, 2
Perfect.
voted at the
Yep.
office early, and
Yep.
then 10 voted there.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep, absolutely, happy to help.
Good?
Good.
Chris McRae. Come on, look at that face, come on.
Yeah, Chris
Yep.
McRae.
Yep.
I don't know,
Really?
man, no,
Good.
that's, this voted, it's a weird.
Jen,
Put all the ballots in the same
Dellum,
way. I don't know why some of
D-E,
That one says like.
Demo.
Demo, Jen Demo,
DEML,
yeah,
yeah.
great volunteer.
That's a weird printing on the envelope.
Yep.
okay.
Oh, look at that, sweet one, didn't lick it, beautiful. You gotta love these people that don't lick 'em.
Rowe, R-O-W-E, Robert.
Oh, yeah, Bob Rowe. Gotta love these people that don't lick 'em. Boy, people just put it in there.
Steve
Don't lick it.
Kenda.
This is sweet.
Yep.
Hopefully most of them are not licked. Some of my people.
Pam Coughlin.
John.
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 7 of my 10
Coughlin.
licked them. Really should just ship them in.
C-O-U-G-H-L-I-N, Coughlin.
And then you get those ones that lick every square cent.
County attorney.
Yeah,
New county attorney.
Okay. You good?
Yep.
good dude.
Greg Moore.
Yep.
Handing off. No, Chris, it's good because we can verify your signature.
Yeah, looks good, man.
Danielle Craig, C-R-A-Y, Craig.
Chris, sorry, the envelope, I didn't realize.
Sorry. It worked.
Printer that way.
It worked. Huh?
A beautiful NHGOP printer.
And a new one after.
Blumenshine.
Yep, Kent
Blumenshine.
from Hollis.
Good.
Yep.
The toner card.
Yes.
John O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Regan Connor, R-E-G-A-N.
Connor Regan, yep.
I'm gonna flip this over, because it's open the wrong way.
Connor Regan.
Yep, all right, so he's all set.
John Yule. Y-O-U-L.
I know John. Good guy. Wish he ran for state rep this year.
Monte Zingella.
Oh, Juanita Dangle.
Leave the dangle, yeah.
Next to DA.
Moving and changing this around. Folded the wrong one.
Got that?
Yeah.
There you go.
You good?
Yep, Juanita's good.
Michael. Folded either together.
Close, right?
Yeah.
Nathan, Chris. Good.
Yep.
Getting to that
Noble.
point where it's gonna get interesting.
Noble. Tristan.
Plenty of room.
Right in the middle there.
Did you get this one?
Yep.
Noble? Kristen? Yeah.
Nancy Elliott.
Yep.
Green. Bob Green.
Yep.
Tony Green.
Unrelated.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah. One lives in New Boston. Tony lives in New Boston.
yeah, New Boston and Hudson, totally unrelated, yeah.
Ah.
Same spelling, too.
Same spelling, G-R-E, no E at the end or
Yes,
anything?
E- both.
Both have the E
Really?
at the end, yeah.
And which is even a more unusual spelling of green than.
Yeah, and they're
David
like next to each other.
Roots. Say it.
Rutsky,
Rutsky,
Rutsky.
yeah.
yeah.
Rutsky.
Sorry, me?
Yep.
All set?
Yep.
Snow.
Brian Snow or Brian.
R. Brian Snow.
This one I'm gonna fold just so you see it.
Christine Peters.
Okay.
Yep.
Jimmy?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry? Tim Marino?
Mm-hmm. Former state rep.
Ooh, an easy one.
Liz Christopherson?
Oh, Liz. Okay.
C-H-R.
C-H?
C-H-R-I.
Oh, Liz, I haven't seen her in years. She's real estate, selling real estate.
Yeah.
Right? Is she selling real estate
John
now?
Valera. JJ.
JJ.
Worked with Liz on a campaign. Who the hell did I work with? Liz?
John Stevens.
John Stevens.
Good, thank you. Crichton.
Cretin.
Cretan.
Jim Cretin.
Jim Cretan.
Carl Jim, state representative.
Representative.
Oh, sorry.
One of our flips.
Oh, yeah, 1 of 11.
Spottiswood. John. Pelham Township.
We actually flipped 12 but lost 1, so.
Good. George.
How was you out shaking that box?
George Droysica. Jorg Droysica. Jorg and Madeline.
Good. And we've got Lily Williams.
Yep. Yep.
Nationality is Droysica.
He's German.
German?
Okay, Liz Williams is good.
Yep.
Okay. McRae. Karen McRae.
MC, not M-A.
M-C-R-A-E.
Yep. Chris's mom.
Good, Ellen?
Mm-hmm.
Lori Davis. Infamous. Lori Davis. DAV.
Yep.
Handing off. Joan Silvernail.
You got this?
Yeah, I know the. Yep, right here.
Dave, you got this?
Hmm?
Thanks.
Yeah. Sure.
Post. Charlie. Charlie Post.
Yep.
Lisa.
Randall Brownrigg.
Randy Brownrigg.
Hand off.
This one's open the wrong way.
You can match the fold. I'll block you out.
No more so than the one that stuck it in the first place.
Post. Lisa Post. Post.
Yep.
Jimmy?
Yep.
Uh-oh. Chris Agar?
Throw that one out.
Yeah,
Throw that one
Who
out.
is this Chris Agar fella?
Never heard of him.
Never
Who
heard.
signed that?
Who signed it? Do me a
Why you know
favor,
Chris
do me a favor, write your name here, write your name here, we'll check that one. Write your name down.
Joe Alexander?
Yep.
Goffstown rep?
Representative.
He tried winning Concord and he realized that Goffstown was a better. They all figure out that Concord. Janice Matthews?
Yep.
Robert Nash?
Bob Nash. Hillsborough Town Committee.
Huh?
Hillsborough Town.
Madeline?
Droysica.
Okay.
I hear you.
It's group D-R-E-U.
Oh, you did the best.
Droysica.
Confirm? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Handing off.
Backwards, fixing it. Backwards.
Thornton, Michael.
from Milford.
Yeah, should be.
Daniel, Gary,
Gary, Senator Daniels.
good.
Sorry, putting that back in here. Put that envelope over
Oh,
there,
yeah, yeah.
So you can see it. I put you that envelope. My bad. Sorry.
Dave Wheeler,
Counselor.
Bound to happen one of these things.
good.
Yep.
Jimmy,
Yep, thank you, sir.
Platt, PL,
Yep. ETT. Representative from Goffstown.
confirmed, fellas? Good,
Yep, he's good.
handing it off. Jimmy, you want?
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Kick, rattle, roll.
You're the official agitator.
Apparently, that's what we, you know. I think.
Jim
Elliot-
Pofall.
Elliot does a far better job.
Snowfall,
Football with a K.
Okay.
Yeah, we flipped both of those seats, man.
We did. That was a good flip.
That was the best flip in the whole county.
last for Hillsborough County, Gabbard,
Liz.
Ted,
Liz.
Liz, confirmed, Chris, confirmed. Elliot, you good?
Yep.
Okay, handing it off. Starting to load empties for Hillsborough County.
I'm convinced she's a closet Republican, by the way.
When she met up with you guys at the
Oh, is this Tulsi?
yeah, the VFW.
After the annual meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta love that one. She can seal it.
After last year's annual meeting, I was too tired to go to anything
Okay,
else.
Halifax proposed, Hillsborough County. Original list back in, outer envelopes placed within.
Here are the Manchester ballots, and I will let everyone know, at the office, Representative Rossberry, Mr. Elliot Galt, and Mr. Philip Harris voted early at the official thing. So just those three names. And I think there's only 9 ballots in here, so.
Oh, you lived in Concord?
Nope. I've lived in the same apartment for 5 years, unfortunately.
I was gonna say second good or bad.
I'm never there, so it's fine.
Waste not, want not.
True. Obviously, as you know, I spend all my time in Concord.
2 locks.
That's true.
Unfortunately, they roll the street up at 9 o'clock at night.
Well,
so
that's why I haven't moved.
Better off living in Manchester.
Exactly.
Roll the street up at 9. There's nothing to do.
List for Manchester.
You said there's only 9 in the Bronx?
I believe it was in.
Victoria Sullivan. She actually signed the outer envelope twice.
Just like I did.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Will Infantine. Oh, scribble. We'll give a scribble.
Yep.
Good. Handing off.
Representative.
Holding it again. So you can see.
Dick Marston.
That's a good flip right there.
Sorry. I love the scribble on the back. It's just like, oh.
Former state rep.
Tammy.
Very bottom of the
Where
page.
you wanna go?
Thank
Confirmed.
Yep.
Tammy.
Tammy's all set.
Handing off.
Half an hour.
Dean Cartwright.
All set.
Tammy's
Tammy?
friend.
Damn.
Dan.
For the record, friend. Come on, Elliot.
I'm laughing. I thought it was funny.
Paul Chauvin.
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 Yep.
Nice French name.
Good, Elliot.
Yep.
Handing off to Jimmy. Mark Warden.
Representative. All set.
Good. Handing off. Larry Gagney.
Representative.
GAG. Jimmy. Joan Terrio.
John DePietro.
John DePietro. There we go. Hey,
He's just killing us.
Sorry, I love that one.
Killing them, man.
BE, sorry, yep, BI, there we go.
Good. Hanging on. That concludes Manchester.
All right. Manchester.
Outer envelopes going back in the box. List for Manchester going back in the box. Box being closed.
And it landed nice and flat.
Here is the Merrimack County box, and the only people that early voted at the party from Merrimack County, Mr. Joe Mandola and Representative Natalie Wells.
What was Natalie's last name?
Wells, W-E-L-L-S.
And I know they didn't either one of yours.
New, well, recently reelected.
So yeah, we have Nashua, Rockingham, Stratford, and Sullivan, and then the state party early vote.
Joe Mandola came to our meeting that he didn't vote.
He did not vote.
Okay.
Keys, locks. And there is one spoiled ballot in here, it's clearly marked for it.
Yep.
Good.
What happened?
I forget who it was, somebody messed up.
I think it was County Regal,
Yeah.
spelled out, it's okay, I was there to witness it, so it's fine.
County list. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, man.
Robert Friggin.
K.
Okay. K-R-I. Jimmy?
Yes.
Enough?
Thank you.
Representative Mike Moffett. Cardinal, Mike Moffett. Good?
Yep.
Chairman Scott Maltese.
Maltzy.
Oh, yeah.
Signed by my father.
I don't know. We
Now,
might wanna
now I'm really
Yeah,
wondering.
that's
Now
We might wanna challenge that.
Now I'm really wondering on that one, huh?
Hold this a little better.
Sure.
Say Michael's last name?
Yakubovich.
Yakubovich.
Yakumovich.
Hooks it.
Representative, Michael.
Yakumovich. Good? Jimmy?
Perfect.
Representative Matthew Pitar.
That was a good one.
I love
That
that.
was a great
That was one of
one.
those wins on election night where it's like, yeah, we're taking back the house. If districts like him, we would flip across the state.
Good, Elliot?
Yep.
Okay, handing off to Charles.
Yeah, his was one of the ones that came in around 2:30, 3 o'clock.
No, his was early.
Was it early?
Yeah. his
Oh,
was
that's
like-
right.
His was like the, I think I started like.
Kathleen Labonte.
Labonte? Yep.
You never made it so wrong.
I do.
Some Jose fella. Cambridge. Okay, handing off.
I think I know that guy.
Andre.
Andrews, representative.
Somebody could flip that now.
Yeah, they kind of your ballot.
Yeah, it's even more fun when
Good. Good. Okay.
you get rid of Kermit, which was so good.
Representative Howard Pearl Jr.
Nope. That's it.
Oh,
Charlie.
all right. One of the maple syrup connoisseurs of the Merrimack County.
So it's Charlie?
Howard
Howard
C. Pearl Jr., yep, that's it.
Patricia Jorgensen.
Other way, Jay.
Is that all here?
Yep.
Kenneth Parker.
Ken Park, yeah.
Tim Park Jr.
Is that me?
Yep.
Okay.
Terry Cox, COA. Karen Tesserman. Fine.
Yep.
David, no relation.
Careful.
Alvin C.
Me? Okay.
Okay, come to our spoils ballot. So I'm just gonna place this in the envelope.
The pile? Okay.
Captain Radio? Radio? Randolph LeBron?
LeBron.
I'm gonna hold this again.
Okay.
Sure.
Chuck. There we go. Jimmy?
Yep.
He's gonna run for that one of these days, so.
What town is he?
Pembroke.
Oh.
The pizza oven man himself, Tom Dunn.
Tommy's done.
Have you seen the full dragon?
Yeah.
on the set?
It's good pizza.
Yeah.
Good?
Is he the one that brings the trailer out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good pizza.
He did that for the machine gun shoot
Yeah.
this year. It was really cool.
He's done some stuff at Howard Pearl's.
Yeah.
Cross, kind of cross.
New representative, that was a good pickup. Well, it was a keep, right? Yeah, it was a keep. Hold.
Margaret Kennedy.
That was big.
Great,
That was a great.
great play.
She's a lot of fun. Good?
Yep.
And last but not least, representative, Howard Pearl. All right, outer envelopes going back in the box, along with the one voided spoiled ballot. Outer envelope. Initial listing going back in the box.
Thanks for cleaning that up.
You're welcome.
Cover going back in the box.
Somebody's gotta do it.
Alright, now we have Nashua. The only member from Nashua that voted early at the party is Rosemary Russell.
They might have 100%.
Only name we gotta.
Think so?
Whoa, that was close.
You know, PPE safety glasses.
It's always good till somebody loses an eye, right?
Okay, well, we're under the
Skip's
church's
gonna-
insurance.
Yeah, Skip's gonna watch it on replay.
This radio's going down watching all this. We're not very
Two locks, two keys.
So you got 2 eyes.
7:20.
Even if we could.
Been at this for a while.
Okay.
Takes a while.
Opening box. This.
Yeah. After we do that, it's easy.
Ooh, wide format. Very nice. Very nice. Multiple lists. That's all it is.
The big Rocky Hammer's wrapped.
It's natural.
And then the party.
Carl
One
Seidel.
more to go.
SEI, yeah.
Sorry.
Seidel.
Come in the grab.
It's okay, Jim.
Come in the grab.
Thank you.
Fredette. Fredette.
Fredette, David Fredette, the treasurer.
Good.
He still has one of his signs out in front of the copper door.
Just in
The
case.
only one.
Just in case anybody still waiting to vote.
Tyler Gouveia.
That's like Nick run, I went out in front of Wendy's and was Hilton for I don't even know how long.
Well, there's still,
I
Martin's
keep
is
talking,
still
I
over in
keep talking
Seabrook.
about the third party Senate candidate, the AJ Olding. I see his sign. Like,
Really?
intersection, right here.
Oh, they even signed a little envelope.
Bill O'Brien?
Bill Ohm.
Bill Ohm, OHM.
OHM, Bill Ohm, OHM.
Former state rep.
Oh, sorry.
Kim Trombley?
Twombly. TW.
Good. Steve Negron? Stay right on him, his wife Teresa Negron? Good on both?
Just did one line and looped it around.
He did it to the envelope, so really did it.
Elizabeth Feria?
Vieira. Ferreira. Oh, she ran for, yeah, Liz Ferreira. She ran for state.
Ferreira.
Yep.
Good, hands up. Former speaker, Bill O'Brien. Good. Charles Lothrop.
Chuck Lothrop.
Right. Again, if it's full name Charles.
Yep.
Charles.
Yep, good.
Good.
Yep.
Handing off.
Does the next one die?
No,
Oh.
Young.
Oh, yeah.
Young.
Good. Handing off. Paul Thomas. Tolman.
Tolman. Paul and Karen Tolman, yeah.
I'm gonna make my wager that no page gets filled out completely.
I think you're correct.
We'll get close, but I don't think, I think it's just.
Karen, who's next?
Yeah. Scare.
Scare, yep.
Scare. SCA.
That's it, man?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Mercer.
Brian Mercer.
Good.
Yep.
Karen.
Former employee. Kaufman, CAU.
COFF.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a U, does it not? National Chair, Chris Buddha.
Buddha.
Good.
Yep.
Muller, M-U-L-L-E-R, Muller.
Marie Muller.
Murray, yeah.
Good, handing on. Mark.
Cookson, yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cookson, once you take that outer envelope.
Yep, I got Mark.
Cookson, handing off Cookson. Hennessy.
Doris. Yep.
Last for Nashville, apologize.
Right.
Outer envelope is going back in. Outer envelopes are placed back in the box. Original, original county
Yep.
list, or.
Who is this?
That was natural.
Oh,
Goes back in. Natural box, close back up.
Alright, so I have Rockingham County, I had a number of people from Rockingham vote early with the party. Representative Al Baldessaro, Judy Baldessaro, Diane Bitter, Carol Bush, Lois DeYoung, Representative Fred Doucette, Earl Cobb, Walter Cologis, Representative Wayne McDonald, Susan McHugh, Leanne Moshe, Representative Jason Osborne, and Susan Parker, Pat Thomas, Jack Thomas, and Joanne Ward.
Sounds like House committees started again.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So there's about 25 of the 65.
And Joe is gonna be checking off on his list to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'll make sure.
They got 80 of them. Is it 80? 87?
So any of you guys buy storage lockers?
We have 70. I'm gonna say they had 80. That was probably, he probably read
It's
off.
like, Storage Wars.
Yeah, I did that for a little while. The problem is, it's stuff half the people gotta throw
I'm
away.
just,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot.
Dump it all.
You don't have a dumpster.
That's a lot. Around. Yeah, that's a lot. We only got 6. They're almost the same, you know, not quite the same size. Yeah. I think they have a lot of state reps. Oh, they got a ton of them.
Who is this?
Rockingham's got a lot of state reps as committee
They
members.
have the most state reps for, in the, per county.
We
for
have fewer,
Republicans.
we have fewer state reps as county members than we do.
Yeah.
But it's easier, I mean, if you're a state rep, you stop by the state head body.
Oh, yeah,
Well, that's, they were all here for committee here.
And
More
all my guys-
convenient,
All
yeah.
my guys said, yeah, we give me Tuesday night for beer. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's different when
Okay,
it's.
Rockingham starting.
Yeah.
Frank,
DePietro? DePeters. D-I or D-E? D-E-P.
good, handing off.
Sadu from Salem. G-O-D-D-U. Yep. He's good.
This is Ravi Kumar,
Oh, yeah.
Sir Dawson, Ravi Kumar, Las Vegas. You guys find out.
R.A.B.
Yep, right here.
R.A.B.
David Smith.
You should be able to find that one.
All set.
Good. Bernardi.
J.D. Bernardi.
Diddy. Jeff Edwards.
Yep.
Okay. David Hagan. Flip this over. Ken Shepherd.
Yeah.
Good. Elizabeth Thomas.
Yep.
Joe Gagnon.
And Joe Gagnon worked for us this cycle.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the dairy office.
Dairy office.
Good.
Yep.
Is that your phone? Is that yours?
Tanya Donald.
No.
Is that yours?
Tanya Donnelly.
Good on Donnelly.
One of Joe's constituents. The Honorable. Sorta.
Janet.
Patula. Yep.
Good.
Oh, sorry.
Bill Archibald. Oh, no, Wyndham Township.
I know who you meant.
B-I-R.
I know.
Uncle Phil.
Good on Phil?
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil.
Phil's great.
Phil's awesome.
Best gas station you ever got.
Phil's awesome.
Tony, come on.
Tony Piemonte, representative.
Piemonte?
The hat guy.
Good.
The what? The
The-
hat guy.
Or the goat man. He owns goats.
He wears hats a lot. He wears hats up. Like little fedoras. Oh, old school, huh? Yeah.
All right. Jeff.
Olegny.
Hampstead. Hampstead.
Former,
Did he move?
former state rep. I don't
He
know.
used to be in Hampstead.
Might be Hampstead, yeah.
I know he used to be Hampstead. I used to, when I did this work at the Hampstead. Could have changed.
Comerford.
Comerford.
Yeah. See.
There he is.
Yep.
Oh, you found it?
Oh yeah. He ran for executive
Tim
council
Comerford.
from Fremont.
Betty Gay.
State rep.
Good. Ned Carpenter. Melvin Seaton.
Melvin. Yep. Charlie.
Hobson. H-O-B. Joanne.
Representative.
Good. Chris True.
True love.
I have a true.
Chris Drew?
He's on.
Chris True in the master list.
You know why? Oh, you know why? Did you do this on Excel?
Yeah.
That's why.
It's at the bottom because Excel does the true.
Because true is a thing on Excel. So he was at the bottom.
True is a mathematical statement. So.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He's all set.
No, you're all right.
I knew he was a state committee
Oh, I
member.
have them on this list too, and I'm like, what did
Yeah,
I do?
well,
Yeah,
no,
because
it
there's
don't-
true love
Yeah.
and then true, but it's usually always
fine.
caps too.
I know, so I fixed it from being caps, but I didn't resort it.
Right. No, it will.
Glad
That
we
will.
sorted that out.
There you go. And we all learned something about Excel.
No, that will happen.
Or Charlie.
We'll put that on our LinkedIn.
I'll endorse you for it.
So I'm gonna fold this different way right here.
P-O-R.
Good.
Yep.
Handing off. Thank you. Julie Tucker.
Julie Tucker?
Yep. She's all set.
That's a hell of a signature, JL. JT, that's a hell of a signature for a name like that.
Stanfield.
Banfield and Murray.
Not that I could type. My signature looks nothing like my freaking name.
Mm-hmm.
My C looks okay, everything else. I do a big J and a big M and everything else is like chocolate. It's like, yeah. Actually, I get Jim like usually pretty good.
Meyer. Jones.
She ran for state rep.
Good. Off. Bryce Scott? Chris Scott.
Oh, Brian Grissett. Sorry, G.
He is definitely an O.
He runs for state rep every year for us. Brian is.
Good.
Yep.
Handing off.
Alright, I'm gonna fold this more normally.
Everett McBride Jr.
Joe, what do we all have? Stratford and Sullivan, and then all the 49, 50.
Pam Skinner. All set.
Good. Pam.
you saying that or trying to make us feel
Lynn,
better?
Robert Lynn.
Bob Lynn, former Chief Justice of the New Hampshire Supreme Court and now state rep.
Lynn.
Yeah,
Keep going,
keep going.
next page back. Next page.
L1, good, getting off. Laffner, Julie.
Like last,
Yep.
Good on her?
Yep.
William J. Smith. This is the one from Atkinson, the one from next to the voting.
Bill Smith, yeah.
Chris? Good, getting off.
Oh, me. Two William J's, right?
And then you also got Bill Smith from Newcastle.
Elliot, P-O-L-I.
Polidora, yep.
Thanks, appreciate that. I got a big, little wall.
Lily Walsh. Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
You got Walsh.
John Pikeman.
Another one of Joe's colleagues.
In relation to Donna?
Yes, it's her husband.
Good.
Yep.
Handing off.
And he's a state rep.
Danger.
Norm or Brenda?
Brenda.
On there too?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's just Brenda. Yeah, just Brenda this time around.
Stone. Gregory Stone. Good.
Yep.
Jason Krosky.
Cameron. Thank you, sir. And Will Smith signed. Good. I like that. All the instructions. Shouldn't be signing their own.
Mesa Travada. Probably just under Travada.
Jorge Mesa Tejada.
Jorge, Manchester.
It's actually probably M.
Hampstead. Jorge, Hampstead.
Good.
Yeah, Jorge's a good guy.
Final ballot from
Jorge's a good guy.
Okay, outer envelopes going back in.
checklist for the county going back in. And then the checklist for nothing.
State party wants like another county.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Right, here's the Stratford County box. I had no early votes with the NHGOP for Stratford County.
It's got a lot in there. Stratford.
133424.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, over there. This one. I think this, oh, that side too, both of them? Yeah. Oh, there's no more. Oh, I think so, yeah. Oh, Eli. Berlin. Oh, it could be. All right.
County list.
List. Oh, how many names can you fit on a page? 30.
So, yeah, so Stratford County, what took place was one of their members, so this individual, Steve Bodwin, he put his gummed envelope into the box, and Seamus explained this to us before it could be put into the envelope. So in here, there is one gummed envelope that has a ballot in it, that is meant to be in this one, so let's find the
Let's put that
gummed
aside,
envelope
yeah.
and put that into Mr. Bodwin's envelope, and he had,
Should be able to
Seamus
hold
had-
them on the end and it should shake right out. Put them on the long end and it should shake right out because it's a shorter envelope.
Just do it the way you're doing it. There you go. So we can do it one at a time, look at that.
There it is. Found it?
that is the one.
All right.
Well, we got.
Well, just do it right now.
Yeah, you don't have to seal it.
Yeah.
We're all sitting here watching it, just,
Okay, we got it?
just do it.
Okay.
Former state rep.
Alright. Sawyer, Sawyer, Zena. Handing off. Yep.
Yeah.
Xena Princess Warrior.
I was gonna say, there's
And
an
then
interesting
Esther.
name.
Sawyer.
Esther Sawyer.
Assuming your relation.
Alright.
Okay. And Chris Sawyer.
Yep.
Wow, the whole family's involved.
Yeah, it's husband, wife, and daughter.
Oh, wow, that's cool. That's
They were
cool.
they were big volunteers too.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were great.
Very cool.
Mr. Matt Mayberry. Elliot on you.
Sorry.
Okay.
Matt Mayberry. I'm gonna refold this.
Back the other way.
Right?
There. Is this right here?
Okay. Mayberry.
We know you know who Matt is.
Jonathan Otterson.
Awesome. Shout out to Judy Aaron, who's watching on Eli Clemmer. Hi, Judy.
Oh, did she just text
She
you?
just texted me.
Oh,
Well, your side figure looks great, Elliot.
I hope it's the good side.
what are we on, a podcast? Or
I don't know.
Facebook Live.
something? Facebook Live? Is that what it is? Facebook Live?
Hastings.
Hastings?
Hastings.
Is that Facebook Live?
First name I don't.
Like Edwina. Edwina, yep. Oh.
Handing off.
She saw me.
Oh, she just texted you again?
Phyllis Woods.
Phyllis Woods.
Abigail
Rooney. Abby Rooney. She's former state rep.
Wow, I wouldn't get Rooney out of that. I'm not sure. I see an R and N and a Y, but, you know, Rooney, in between, you know. Did you get that one,
Yep.
Rooney? Okay. Sorry, I'm opening it up.
Cooper. Cooper. Mary Ann.
Okay. We're on a roll.
Good.
Yep.
Petrie.
Joe Petrie, representative.
Diana.
Oh, Diane.
Good, Elliot.
Yep. Yes.
Got it?
Valerie Morgan.
Right at the top of next page.
And then Joe. Got Joe?
Yep.
Joseph. Joe.
Yep.
Frank Patel.
Natalie.
Tally.
Yep.
Matt Kickers. With a 10 suspicion.
Wow. Oh, very expensive. Matt.
State representative.
Yeah. He's selectman too, isn't he?
Green.
Harrison DeBrun.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this one back around.
Someone saying hi to you on Facebook? Who is that, Judy? She said hi to me.
James Gray.
James Gray.
Okay.
Senator Jim Gray. From Rochester. Yeah.
I've learned a lot about
Yep.
supply stuff from Leandro.
Something crazy they do.
I know. There people are watching on Facebook Live.
Cool.
Riveting TV.
Peralt.
P-E-R-R.
P-E-R-R. Peralt.
Yep.
Well, we have to get Brewery starting in 10 minutes on YouTube, so I think people will probably switch over.
Martha Haley. H-A-L-E-Y.
Thank you.
Handing off. Robert top, yeah. C-I-N.
Kathleen, yep.
A-V-E-Y. Jimmy?
Oops, sorry.
Paul Callahan?
His son worked for us this year. And he was our sheriff candidate.
And Susan Callahan.
This one's got, well, this one actually, no, it won't, because we already did Grafton, and we already did
Well, they might
Hillsborough.
have voted for that. Oh, wait, no, that's already been crossed out.
Right.
Say party though.
I know there's at least one more we're gonna
Didn't
get.
get too many from Grafton then.
I think probably get like 10.
Oh, really?
Di Eaton?
Yep, from Derry.
We might have a chance of filling out a page.
I mean, Dover, sorry, the other D.
The other day.
Josco. J-O-S-K-O. Josco.
Oops, sorry, didn't mean to grab.
Good jumping. Wilson. Jenny Wilson.
New state rep. No. She ran. Sorry, we had two Jennies this time.
There you go, there's an easy one.
Yeah, finally.
Ooh, a double easy one.
Oh, man,
That's more than large
Yay,
now.
Jenny.
That's like hitting the double bullseye.
Let's not get cocky now.
Nick Boyle. Yep.
Another unused one there for you.
No, originally he went to work
Harrington Mike.
Representative.
Good. Handing off.
and
Claude
Malo.
M-A-L-O. M-A-L-O.
Should be the next page.
You got Clyde? I won't open it until you get it.
Yep.
That one's getting pretty full.
So we got a Grafton and a Hillsborough, so we won't.
Yeah, unless they voted at headquarters.
John Loki could have.
Skipper.
Did he? John Loki. He did. There we go.
Skipper.
Yes. Yep.
Confirming
All
Skipper.
set.
Only a single leader there.
Mark Racek.
Racing.
R-A-C.
From Durham. Yep.
I-E.
Durham Town Chair. R-A-C-I-C. Yep.
Aiden.
Ankenberg from Rochester. Yep.
Aikenberg.
Aiden.
Good.
He did a recount. That was the closest one. 4 votes.
Yeah.
Kurt.
Welfer.
Walker.
Representative.
Okay.
W.
Right there
Yep.
on the bottom.
Good.
Yep.
Fenton.
Growing.
No.
New representative. Former state senator.
Right in the middle.
Hannon.
Joe Hannon.
Joe Hannon.
Perfect. Same page. Didn't even have to move.
Good. Last for Trafford County. County Chairman. Seamus Davis.
C-A-S-E-Y.
Good.
This one came so close. We were 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now the envelope going back in original box. List of delegate members going back in the original box. Box being closed.
And now, Sullivan County, our last county committee box, no one voted early at the party. Some did vote today, but I know they haven't voted.
Cover your eyes.
You guys are so neat, really.
I've been on enough job sites, I haven't got hit by something now.
You do have some history with this, though.
Just a little.
Nobody lost an eye, though.
It's like, this is a
Not like
lot-
Ralphie on Christmas
This is
Story.
a whole lot better than this thing would have been.
Hey Skip, is this a live stream or no?
No. Ah.
I was gonna drive some traffic to there, but I guess I can't.
Sullivan County list on the box. Junior dryer.
Dry.
Less than 100 to go.
Yep. Virginia or Margaret, you said? Virginia.
That was Virginia. And then right
Then
below,
Margaret.
Margaret,
Okay.
Mother daughter.
mother's daughter.
Cool beans. Good. Good.
Spilsbury.
It is.
Bills.
Spilsbury. Good.
Yep. Maureen, you said?
Yep.
A lot of Spilsbury's.
And Walter Spilsbury.
Yep.
We're all on a road.
Is Duncan next?
No.
Oh, almost had 3 in a row.
Fine, Duncan.
Roark? Roark. R-O-A-R-K.
Should have made it easy on Ellie and just find the other stone.
Good. Jimmy? Bowers? Stephen?
Back. Is that Steve?
Steven.
Steven.
Steven and it's back.
Good.
Yep, we are good.
How do we know Spec Bauer? What does he do?
Brinton.
He's a former state rep. He's been around in New Hampshire politics for a long time. Urbanski?
He's been around for a million years.
Yep.
Got it?
The infamous Spec Bowers?
He was the guy who's gonna get run.
Spilsbury? Duncan?
There we go.
Good.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Walter Stapleton?
Yeah, you and me both, Ellie. You gotta give it a little,
That lower back.
a little bit.
Stapleton, good.
Yep.
Before we count?
Before we count.
We walk around the building once.
Which one?
Dick Wenzel?
Dick Wenzel.
Best new and used car dealership?
And executive council filmer.
Yes, the best executive council company.
All the lots of video of me on there.
I think you're the prime subject.
Yes, exactly. The
our
person right off the
To
side.
our fans at home, Judy Aaron.
There we go. Hi,
There
Judy.
we go. She like logs off. She's still there.
Oh, there we go.
Mr. Michael Aaron.
And Michael.
Okay. Mr. Chairman.
John Benton.
Betancourt.
Betancourt.
Yep.
Betancourt.
All set. Sullivan County.
All right. Almost done.
Conrad.
Shelter.
SC.
Yep.
AE.
All set.
You got it?
Yep.
All right.
Who's going to play Key Hunter?
No, I think she's on. Give Ward. Gary Ward.
All set.
Good on Ward. Okay, that concludes Sullivan County.
Judy says she was waving back.
Oh, nice. Outer envelopes going back into the box. List for Sullivan County going in.
400, I bet. Yeah.
Box
I'll
being
say
closed.
387.
All right, our last one is the state party swap box, and here's the list of people that voted early with the state party.
Pretty close. This is definitely the most people we've ever had vote in the state community.
No one, all the names had already been checked for for this process, so nobody has voted for it.
Okay.
Because the
Alright.
counties have all gone, and it would have had to go to the county
Or
plus
the,
this,
or the
and
office.
we would have caught
We
it.
have no duplications, these are all fresh.
Joe, one last request, do you have any objection to counting those separately from the county votes?
Yeah, we're.
Yes,
we're
if
putting
everything
them all-
goes in here.
Everything goes in one lot.
And I will say, we've always done it that way. We've never separated anything out by county.
Okay,
So these are today's,
No,
No.
these are the early,
No,
Those
these
are
are
the
people
people
that
who are
voted
on
at the
state
state party.
okay, today's votes are already in there.
Today's votes are already.
Q, MCHUGH, Q.
Sue or Jim?
Sue.
Jim did not vote.
Okay. Alan Glassman. Leanne.
Moshe?
Moshe.
M-O-C-C-I-A. Good?
Yep.
You got that, Jess, Earl?
Earl Cold? That's Earl Cold. Yep. It's KOLB, right?
KOLB.
Wow. Yeah, he has this one.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, that's Earl.
K-O.
Yep, he's also.
Get it? Okay. O'Hare.
Travis O'Hara?
I know Earl. Earl's the one that comes to some of that.
What day was
He
the
comes to
He
dinner.
does. He does. Yep.
Sorry?
What was the date of the glass one?
Yesterday.
Yesterday?
Jared.
Chacoin. C-H.
Is it related to the Chacoin, Gary Chacoin construction?
I don't know. Can ask him when I see him at work.
Landon.
Ted, yeah.
Good. Landon.
Yep, Ted.
Yep.
No, Scott. I know I can't do that. Lois DeYoung. Former Trump,
Yep.
office manager.
From Brentwood.
Former congressional candidate.
Jim Lawrence.
Good.
Yep.
Douglas Dutile.
Dutile. Doug.
Dutile.
Yep.
Good.
And then grab the next one there, because that's Barb.
Okay. Dutile. And then we have a Barbara Dutile. Confirmed. Barbara. Assuming there's a relation there.
Husband and wife.
Claim it.
They have to do it in person in order to put it on.
Yep, they came to me in person.
Uncle Christopher Wood.
There we go.
Uncle Woody.
Woody.
Woody, let's see.
Good. Representative.
This is probably the
Fire
best
Red
chance,
Dusak.
because that's the last page, there's the least amount of people on it.
Did you say Freddie?
Freddie, you said.
Assistant.
Good on Freddie?
You all set?
Perlow. Perlow. Russell, Rosemary Russell.
Sorry, Alex.
All good. More long legs.
Russell, good.
Yep, she's good.
Lewick.
Lewicki, representative. Oh, this would be the closest sheet, but no.
Good.
Yep,
Well, he probably voted at headquarters.
he probably did, yeah. He
So
probably
we only have
didn't.
3 missing then.
Yeah.
Could be.
Jason Osborne, representative.
This is the last box of the
Jason, yep, representative. Majority leader.
There you go. Thompson.
Dennis?
Dennis. Good.
Yep.
Bush, Carroll.
George W.
Good on.
Yep, Carol's good.
Kendall Hughes.
Yep, he's good.
Christopher Elms. ELLM.
Nothing but trouble. Just kidding. We love Chris Elms.
So we had all 19 in Belknap vote. I wonder if any other county had all of their representatives vote.
Jerry had their entire city committee.
Well, that's a town, that's a town. I'm
Ah,
counting. I'm talking county.
Boo.
Wow, I'm not feeling that slight too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brody.
I think Cheshire ended up with the election day vote today. I think
Cheshire
Cheshire voted too.
Everyone did?
So that's 32, yeah, 32 from Cheshire.
They get the awards.
Sarah?
They're bigger than we are.
Judy good?
Judy's great. We got Al next.
Al's next.
Perfect.
Al.
Did Manchester get close? Manchester not so close.
Nashville got pretty close.
Did Manchester get pretty close?
No. There's a bunch of people in Manchester. that
Really?
did. Yeah.
Wow, that one's surprising. That's surprising.
Earl Nelson.
Earl.
Yeah. Nelson, you good? Patricia Roy Thomas.
Pat Thomas.
Pat Thomas.
Yeah, I think so.
Jack Thomas is next.
Perfect.
Confirm. Good.
Good, good, good.
Yeah. Walter.
Pelogi? Yep.
Pelogi.
Okay, yep. From Wyndham.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
My bad.
Next page, page OL.
You're good on that?
Yep.
Henry Ahern Jr.
Oh, and Omer came by today?
Yep.
Cousins.
Joan Ward.
Joanne.
Good. Downing.
Yeah.
Cynthia.
Down.
From Rockingham.
No,
No, Grafton. Downing. Yep.
Downing good.
Yep.
Ralph Bowen.
Bohm.
With a nice elongated M on his signature.
Representative.
Former Green Party Chair, Mr. Wayne McDonald.
The Honorable Member from Londonderry.
Page back, page back.
Wayne McDonald.
Yeah, now you get too many damn titles now.
We only got
Two.
two left on that page.
Really?
Natalie Wells. Done there? Wells, you good?
Yep, Natalie's good.
Could we get a whole page?
Ken
Two left on
Weiler.
that one.
Yeah, well, that's the
Did
short
Dennis
page,
Ward?
right?
Dennis Ward voted, no?
Chadwick. Ray Chadwick. Vice Chair.
Where's the Chadwick?
Parker. Susan.
Yep. Greenland.
Richard Sampson. Sampson.
Yep, Samson.
Good.
Go on. Yep.
Judith Blue. CL.
Judy.
Yep, William. Blue. CLEW.
Oh, this page, if we had Tyler and Pam vote, we would have filled up this page. So close. Uh-oh, is that me?
Elliot Galt.
Nothing but trouble.
TJ Perry. we wish well for his, surgery today.
Appendix.
Appendix surgery today.
Come here, we would have done that.
He's probably late 30s.
Yeah.
Appendix. We just stopped over his house and done that.
Yeah, use one of those letter openers.
Yeah, they got a letter opener.
Quayle.
Jim Quayle?
Jim?
Q-U.
Quayle.
Right, oh, you had it right in the middle, right
There it is.
Quayle, we good?
Oh,
Hold on.
we came out too. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Good?
Sorry, no, sorry.
We crossed out the wrong name.
He's trying to cross out a whole page.
Yeah, exactly.
You're holding us up.
Everyone will be holding a new election.
Yeah, he wants his
You're holding
bingo.
it.
Did not have a blackout spot, we were hoping for the blackout bingo.
Yeah.
Ross Berry, Representative Ross Berry.
Trouble right there. That was a pickup.
Yeah. Harvin, Harris.
Phil Harris.
Harris. Phil? Good?
Yep.
Double?
Yep. Richard Mark, M-E-R-K-T.
Little things there.
Good?
Richard is good.
Yep. Diane Bitter.
Wow, she drove all the way up to party headquarters instead of just floating around.
She was leaving to go to Florida, so she didn't get it done.
I was gonna say, like, wow.
Pamela Tucker.
A little extra effort by Diane, that's very nice. Very nice from the brother.
Right in the middle.
Steve Stefanak.
Go back one too.
You got Pam?
Yep, I got her, and I got Steve.
You got Steve too?
Yep.
And Joe Mendola. That is the last for party
Right in the middle.
headquarters. Outer
Joe
envelope
Yep.
going in to the box.
Hold on.
Outer envelope.
Outer envelope.
List from the
All right,
state.
satisfy your itch. Are there any pages fully filled out?
List going back on.
No.
Party.
No.
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 Okay.
No. No.
You guys can do like 30 seconds. Yeah,
No.
so you're gonna take a break.
No.
Take a break.
You take a break.
No.
Take a break.
No.
Guys, get
No.
a stretch, thank you.
No. No. Came close.
Alright.
This one would have been the close. Or no, that's two there. So we had a bunch of
Go to the
two.
bathroom and you watch. I'm gonna watch this. You go to the bathroom and I'll stay right here.
I'm sitting here too.
Stay right here. We do bathroom.
I'm just gonna stand up though.
I'm just gonna stand up and stretch.
Remember, they were voting for 7 days.
So now,
Now what we'll do is we'll open up the ballot box and we'll do the chairman's.
chairman first or vice chair?
Are we gonna put them in a Hanson file and a Stepanek file?
Yes.
Yeah, and then count them into, piles.
So we're gonna put them, and this is how we always do it too. We always have piles. You guys can watch, and then if you see, you stand over, and if you see something, you're like, oh, that's the wrong pile. We'll swap it over to the next one.
Okay.
But again, once one person counts the 25, then it goes to the next person to count that 25 and verify that that 25 matches that
So that
person's
is the
25. So we work in teams. This
So we'll
person
be
checks,
left and right.
this person checks. Once they've done their two piles, then they swap their two piles. I confirm what he's done, he's confirmed what I've done, vice versa.
Okay.
Yep. Which is exactly how they do it. Recounts at this Secretary of State's office.
So who's gonna do the initial sort into a Hanson file and a Stepanek file?
Since we're sitting here, we can just do the two big ones and throw them all in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just recount style.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Joe, I'm gonna give you this.
So you guys,
Yeah.
counters will be doing that, we'll be watching.
Sorry.
Yeah, you guys can
And we
just
can,
share the table.
we can challenge anything at any time.
You guys just share the table.
Don't slow down anything.
This should go pretty quick.
Yeah, we did. This is a recount. But we have professional counters. Now we have, I don't know, you guys.
So the question was, when did Steve Stefanek vote? Because he's supposedly in Florida
He voted, early with the party.
early, like last week or something.
Yeah.
I thought it said that, like, it was like the 27th.
The envelope's here.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's-
I think it was the 27th, I think is what I saw.
Okay.
Joe, don't worry about
That's
it.
fine, no, that's
Yeah.
good, Joe. Somebody asked the question.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it was the 27th.
Yeah, that's I told them that they've been voting for a week, so could've been last week.
Yeah, I think last Wednesday was the first day that all the zip ties and locks were placed on the beautiful lock boxes, and people could start voting.
Is it 27?
Yeah. Cause our emergency meeting was the 25th, and then it took me all day.
Yeah, the
26th was
Tuesday,
the
yeah.
Tuesday, that's when I filled out, printed the ballots and made the forms for the
I
envelopes.
think we're all here. Ready to
We're all
go?
good?
We're all good.
All right.
Let's do it, Andrew.
So,
Okay, at this time, nothing else.
Nothing on the table.
my pocket.
Stacks of 25, boys.
Put this behind you.
Stacks of 25.
Okay, opening up the
Joe,
main
you
ballot
got
box.
Callie?
So you're gonna.
And so we'll do
You're
a.
gonna do chairman first,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
And you're just gonna sort them.
We're just sorting right
sort
now.
Then you're gonna
it.
count.
Then we're gonna count.
Okay.
So it'll be,
So we'll do Stepanek here, Hanson there.
it'll just be 2 piles.
Two piles. And Scott and I will be the only one touching the ballots, so that way everybody can just look at 2 hands. All right, you ready, Scott? Here, I'm gonna.
So we're just gonna grab a
So we're just gonna grab a stack or I'd do it one by one so that way everybody can see, and we're just gonna put them in a pile. You're gonna have the Hanson pile, we'll do that, Hanson there on that table, Stepanek on this one, so Stepanek. Stepanek. Yeah. Stepanek.
This is a good pace for you guys.
Yeah, if you need us to slow down.
Hager.
I'm good.
We agree this is the Hanson ballot?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott.
This is a blank vote.
So you wanna just
Put that way
put over there?
You guys saw that?
Yep.
Can you get that water bottle out of here, Joe?
Yeah, and we'll, obviously cast that in.
Scott, could you just show them when you put it in there? Thanks. And thanks.
It's only because he's like 6 feet taller than I am.
I get the long arm.
That's good, thank you.
Sorry. Joe's stronger than he looks.
Yeah.
Sure wasn't his girlfriend.
Do you agree these are separate votes?
Yep.
Have you ever been to those recounts of how people mark?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen.
It's
I've
so
seen
interesting to
some.
see
I've
that.
seen-
In circle.
I have seen some very weird.
I saw one where they
Clearly stepping his vote?
they crossed out everyone, but they left one person out of it.
Yeah.
No vote? Do we agree on that?
Okay, so we're gonna put it over here, that going over here.
Clearly stepping his vote?
They were playing good music for us earlier during the voting.
Soon? Not bad.
They rock and roll at church, you know?
All kinds of goodies.
Going. That homemade piping great.
Yeah. That's cool though. Little innovativeness, you like it?
The nice bite one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that was bit? Yeah.
Confirming you got counted?
They'll be happy to know they look like that.
Good until we have to cross.
Yes. I think this one looks like a Steve Stepanek vote, but
Observers, I'm
we'll
going.
let you guys.
Yeah, I would agree.
Chris, do
So-
you agree? 2 observers, 2 campaigns, do you guys see that? I'm seeing a check mark, they crossed out there.
Yeah,
So it looks like they crossed it out. Same here, there's consistency with Pam Tucker.
yeah, that, I'd say it's a step in it.
Say it is.
Alright, Stepanek vote.
Someone wrote their name on their ballot?
This
I'll
is
show
a
it.
blank ballot.
Okay, blank, place it there, please.
This is a blank ballot?
Confident. Yep, that's a blank ballot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, the next time you put a hand someone down, so it doesn't fall into the cracks. Thank you.
Oh, blank ballot?
Blank ballot all around.
What is it, 4 blanks already?
Yeah, I mean, why would people take the time to took the time to fill out an envelope, pass it into their county or,
And then leave it blank.
And they'd even drove all the way down here to do it.
Yeah,
they may have gone to their count, they had to drive
well,
somewhere.
they had to go somewhere.
They wanted to help us set the record.
Yeah, I don't know. Seems like a lot of effort for no result. Geez, at least vote for one position, you don't necessarily have to vote for both, but you don't vote for either one? Whatever.
Clearly votes.
And that's why you don't show up by county, because then you wouldn't know where they were from.
Yeah, instructions elude some people.
Print and sign your name.
Legibly, that was
Yeah.
the word you missed, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next time we have
Yeah.
to do this, I'll make sure.
legend.
I agree with that.
That's a no
That's
vote.
a no vote?
No votes.
So put a separate file. These are not blanks, and then this is a no vote.
So that would be a no vote as well.
Correct. And we'll relook at those after just to confirm.
This is the ripped in half one.
Okay, that had tape on it, we confirmed it.
Yeah, I think
My-
everybody's happy
My
with
tape
that.
job's held.
Your tape job held up. Nobody had an issue.
Scott is just so strong.
Took out a box, took
Yeah.
out an envelope.
I pick things up, I put them down.
One letter opener, too much for Scott.
Lefty?
so once the sorting is finished, Jimmy take his seat again.
Yep.
Scott and I will take our seats with Jimmy and Elliot will work on that pile in the groups of 25. Scott and I will work on Keith's pile, groups of 25. Once we've just done each side, we'll then swap and reconfirm each other's work.
We have a scratch pad to keep.
I have a scratch pad here that I'll bring to the table once.
No vote?
Once we're done, yeah, okay.
No vote.
Confirm. Make a note, I want Pam Tuckler's chair.
Swatting you out of the way.
That means you gotta put that little scatter thing on the spreadsheet.
Alright, so we have both checked off, so this is gonna be an invalid ballot.
Double check it, observers.
Two checks,
It's a no, yeah, it's a no.
so no vote.
Yeah, it's a no,
No vote. Why somebody would do both?
We voted for everybody.
Everybody gets a
I
vote.
feel strongly both ways.
I have no opinion.
Overvote. Yeah.
Last but not least.
Alright, so that concludes the ballot box. Observers, before we move anything, okay? We're gonna, observers over to the ballots here. There should be roughly 408 ballots that were cast. We're gonna be throwing out just, well, not throwing.
They're
just-
asking for you over here.
We're not
Let me go over there.
including
No vote
these,
You know,
Chairman.
it's got
no
a-
vote for chairman. These ballots we confirm are no votes. Just wanna relook at them again. A double, no vote, double, no vote. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So.
Confirm, no votes, 8?
8.
Okay, alright, you guys all
I'm
set?
just putting those, I'm just
Written down
piling
on
them
the
up.
pad, no votes, 8. Alright?
Sounds good.
I'm gonna do,
The no votes are going back in because they have votes for
Other,
vice chair.
yep.
So they're going back in.
Right.
And I'm gonna put this, so you
Just
can
put it right here. Stay it right here on the table. Yep. Yep.
for you.
Observers, you ready?
Yep.
Groups of 20, 25, please. Stack of 25?
2 stacks of 25.
Okay. Now I'm gonna switch with you, confirm that there's 24 here. Okay? And then confirm that there's 25 here. Okay?
I'm not gonna, cause
Okay.
it's not gonna be, there's not gonna be 55.
No.
Confirm yours, 24 and 25.
Okay, I'm gonna recount this one, please observe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There it is.
Oh, well, that's
13,
okay.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22,
That's 10.
24, 25. Here's the tape one. Acknowledge that. Yep.
So we have 3 at 25, 1 at 24.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Let me see that, I'll verify 22.
Okay, so then we're gonna hand the, we're gonna put them all in one big stack. We're gonna hand them the stack and let them come to the same conclusion.
We're just gonna slide over, cause I don't wanna mix all the piles up.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I'll just take those over here.
Yep.
22.
22?
Yeah, so we have 100,
297.
297.
297 for Steve is what we're showing.
And we are showing 99. So what we're gonna do is, let's just
So
stand
let's
up.
just stand
Yep,
up and
that's
switch
fine.
seats.
This is the 22, but
22.
I'm just gonna pull this out.
That's the outrigger.
Do we want to confirm just the 25?
Yeah, you
this
wanna
way?
go through the
Yeah.
stack?
do you want me to just kinda do this? And you wanna watch it? I'll just do that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 24, 25. Do you want to just, you care? To do it again?
I don't think you have to.
You
Okay.
can put them all in one big pile.
No, just,
each one.
I just
Keep-
rather.
Keep them separate piles, just in case anybody
Yep.
wants to challenge it. I mean, you would be doing a third recount. that's
Correct.
what you did
I
that way.
figured just in case. 3,
3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 25.
Yep. This is 2.
No, just hold them just for a second. I just want everyone to look. Alright, we'll just.
There's a few splits.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we could do it, instead of putting them all back on the blocks and starting over again, we might as well just go through piles of 25 and do it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going back through the box, whatever you guys. As long as the observers are comfortable, there's no reason we can't just split for him.
Well, we know it's 25 each.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're usually
25
per ticket, yeah.
We could do per ticket and then make the
Yeah.
piles right here in the middle, right? We'll just sit where we are, you and I slide down a little.
That's fine.
Pass the pile on mine.
Yep.
I think I've seen on, this many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's maybe 10
A
different.
Hanson Tucker or a Stepanik, Heinz, so.
Yeah, there's 5 or 10.
New Hampshire voters' favorite thing to do, split ticket.
They should have 22.
Confirm 22.
Okay.
So, so I'm confirming 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 275, plus 22. Confirm.
So,
Okay.
297,
297,
Stephanie.
99, that's the results.
Okay.
So, is everybody
Observers?
okay with that?
Yep.
297
You
to
good with that?
99.
Okay.
There's no discrepancies?
297 to 99?
Yeah.
To 99 hands. Yep. So,
Folks, for you guys in the back, the chairman count is complete. The official number is 297 for Steve Stefanik, 99 for Keith Hansen.
And there were eight no
And
votes.
8 no votes. So we're now gonna take the individual piles of 25 and just divide them from here for the vice chair, Tucker and Hines. Is that okay with the observers?
Yep. And then
Is
you're
that
gonna,
a pi- and then
you're
we'll,
gonna add
then we'll
these
go look at
and
the
we'll
8,
look in
right?
those after.
So, why don't we put the Tucker pile here?
Yep.
The Hines pile on this, we'll move these over a little.
Okay.
We'll do what we did before.
Is anybody observing this?
This will be Hines.
yeah.
Tucker.
Oh, because I am observing.
Oh, okay.
Chris, is it like basically 90% non-split votes?
Yeah.
There's not a
I'm
lot.
fine with no confirmation, you guys just count quickly, it's not gonna be close, so.
And we'll still,
We'll still count.
we're on film, we're doing it, we're here. Pastor, we kicking out? Okay.
Once we're done by the service tomorrow, we're good.
And the chili competition.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we get some chili tomorrow.
And if you can see this.
Rather just while we're here, Chris, do it right.
In
Follow
light
it
of everything
all the way through the gambit.
I think, yeah. And then we just do it all. Keep sticking it on. Here, I'll do it too. You can just.
May have one Cam Tucker vote.
All right, we have a.
We have a bunch of people.
I see one.
Oh, you need just one? Oh, sorry. And is this a Heinz?
Okay.
So I'm gonna count these.
And I need one Pam Tucker vote too here.
One.
And this is a Dan.
She still runs away from me even though she's sat on my chest.
And here's Dan Hines. That's 24.
Joe, we're running into no votes, split no votes.
Yeah, so we're gonna check those last.
21. This is 21. Alright, 21, just to remember. Pam Tucker, 21.
We give that to those guys next week.
Yeah,
I need one Cam Tucker.
so now it's at 20.
And I'm gonna need one Pam Tucker too.
19.
If you want, just give us those and we'll give you these and we'll count those.
This is an odd lot of hands.
Uh, 26. So that's 25. That's 25. That's one.
Yeah, let's leave the tape on, because that was causing more trouble, the tape.
Sorry about that. That was only one.
So 25, 25. This is odd. This is 5.
Okay. So we have 50, 100, 200.
19, and that
So
confirms what they
75,
said.
80 votes. Okay. So just draw a line.
And then do this, the
And,
no votes.
All right, the no votes, so I'm just gonna look at these. So this is a Pam Tucker.
Okay.
This is a no vote either candidate. This is a Pam Tucker. This is a no vote either candidate. No vote either candidate. This is a Pam Tucker. This is a no, so it's both Pam and Dan. So no vote, you okay with that, Dan? And then this is a Pam Tucker.
No votes for.
So no votes, so this is still 80. 80 votes for Hines.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
23.
Okay. So we have 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300,
23.
and
323. All right, we'll swap and count, or are we gonna leave it at that?
I can see.
You're okay? All right, so we're just gonna leave it at that.
Well, so let's do some quick math here. 297.
No, it's not gonna, now it's
No,
not.
it's, I wouldn't do that.
No, because you're doing the nose. It should be,
Okay.
right?
404.
So did you add these up?
So 8 plus 99 plus 297.
Thank you,
Is
Thank you.
404.
Okay, and 80, and 80 is, that's
403.
403, 407.
407. That makes sense?
Alright, observer Chris, and the other
You
guy.
guys all set?
What's your final number? I'm at the
For
you?
you?
323.
323
323
to
for Taka.
80.
4 no votes.
Okay,
Four no.
thanks.
All right.
Okay, so normally would ask the secretary.
Thank you, Dan. Take care.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, guys.
That's it.
Now normally would make a motion for the sergeant at arms to destroy the ballots.
I'll make a motion to destroy the ballots.
I'll second. We've all.
Second. Jim?
Yeah, third.
Okay,
Unanimous, destroy them.
okay.
So we're gonna put them all back in this.
All back in this.
We'll give them to Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them and. How do you think the footage came out, Skip?
Probably fairly well. I'll put all 3 cameras up so everybody will get it.
Okay, covered. Back on.
It's stout after a couple hours.
Good day. Thank you to
Yes.
everybody.
How do you want us to?
Nope, don't worry about a thing. We're all set.
All right.
We're all set.
Thank you, Andrew.
Alright, Pastor, how would you like it left here? Would you like us to?
You take care of your stuff, everything else is all set.
You sure, sir? We can.
Pause it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Camera and microphones and everything like that if I want to.
These are perfect. If you use the live stream studio, you can do a multi-camera setup with these.
Yeah.
They're very nice.
That is
And a
nice.
cer-
We do